All right, so first thing first, if there is no rule against wearing white shirts on video while doing these kind of talking head videos, there should be, because this doesn't look great. This is not a great shirt. Secondly, I did just take this shirt out of the laundry. Not out of the dirty laundry, it was clean, but I didn't hang it up after it was clean, so it was super wrinkled. And so I did just like iron the parts that would be on camera. And so I say that knowing that my mom watches my videos. And so I just want to say sorry, Mom, because if I stood up and you guys saw the back of this shirt, my mom would be very embarrassed. Anyway, welcome back to a new video. This is a boy named Jamil. I am Jamil, and I am here to talk about two more must-have items for your A7C. Let's get right into it. I have been rocking with the A7C since December, and I cannot overstate this, and I know that I can't understate it. This is my favorite camera. Now, I still shoot all of my photos with my A7R4, but this is the camera that comes with me everywhere, like everywhere. So I am basing this video around this camera for the use of this camera. Okay, so this is a follow-up video to the one that I made before, and in that video I talked about this mic. Actually, this is the Movo VX-R10, and the thing that I loved about this microphone, did I say camera before? The thing that I like about this microphone is I like the size of it. I like the sound that you get for the price of the microphone. I really feel like there is a ton of value in this microphone for $50. And you guys heard me talk about this before. I was really thinking about getting the Rode NTG mic, but two reasons that I didn't get that mic is because one of the things that I love about this camera is the size, is the footprint of everything about this setup here. I did go back to using the Joby tripod, by the way, but we can talk about that later. But just the overall footprint of this vlogging setup, I love the small camera, I love the small mic, and I just love that everything's small. It makes it really easy to talk to the camera for me in public. So that was really important to me, and the NTG mic just really increased the footprint of this camera when that microphone was on top of it. So that was the first reason. The second reason is that I make no excuses about this. I was really not interested in spending $250 on a microphone. So again, this channel is just really about trying to find value in all of the things that I use that I can recommend to you guys, because I think that that's what you guys want with this A7C. I think you guys really want to find value in things, and so $250 for a mic is just not money that I wanted to spend. So the microphone, I think I did say camera earlier. The microphone that I did upgrade to was the Movo VX-R10. So the microphone that I did upgrade to, or that I did go out and buy, was the Movo VX-R10 Pro, which is just the Pro version of the mic that I'm using. And so before I get into the things that I like about this mic, let's get into the three things the three things that I don't like about this mic. First of all, they changed the cable. So it used to be this coily kind of cable that stays kind of together, and now they've moved on to this thing. So now I have to figure out some kind of cable management for this cord, because it just gets in the way now. The second thing that I don't like about Oh, also about the cord is they changed it from a TRS to a TRRS on this end, the end that plugs into the mic. So you can't just swap it because the cord is different, and so I can't use the coiled cord anymore. The second thing that I don't like about this new mic is that the shock mount is really wiggly, and that bothers me because I think that I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna break it. We know that I'm gonna break it. So that bothers me, just how wiggly it is. I could probably stop wiggling it now. And so the last thing that I don't like about it is that the dead cat that came with the new mic, this dead cat here, is too big for the mic. And so when it's on and you hold it upside down, the dead cat just falls out. It just falls off. It's way too big. And I've heard some people talk about putting this little foamy thing inside of it, but then it changes sound, and then you have to increase the levels on the camera. And I was listening to Dunna did it the other day, and he said that you want to try to keep your levels on your camera down. I'm not an audio guy, I don't know about that, but Dunna said to keep them low, and when you have those things in, you have to boost it up to like 20. So the dead cat just falls off. All right, so let's get into the things that I do like about the mic. I do like that it keeps the footprint of the camera relatively small. It is a little bit bigger, but it's not as big as the NTG mic. I do like the sound. So one thing that I noticed about the sound is that the fullness of my voice sounds way better on the new mic than on this mic. This mic doesn't sound bad. I love the way that my voice sounds on this mic, but it's just fuller and it sounds richer on this one, a little bit more boomier. And so here's what we'll do. We will change out from this mic to the new mic right now, and then I'll give you guys a chance to hear what that sounds like as we talk about the second must-have item for the A7C. All right, you guys ready? And we are changing now. Can you guys hear the difference? And so the difference that I hear in the mic is that my voice is a little bit, it's richer. It feels like, it just feels, it's a better sound. It feels richer, it feels deeper. It feels like I've made some sound treatment to the room around me. And I've done none of that. I've just changed the mic. And remember, I record these videos in an open space in my basement. Like, there's no walls. The walls are about 4 feet away from me on this side and about 7 feet away from me on this side. There's no sound treatment behind the mic. And so what you're hearing is just sound from the mics that I'm using. And so you guys let me know if you hear any difference in sound in the mics down below in the comments. But the value that I think I find most in this microphone, or in this purchase, I should say, I love it on this camera. And even if it doesn't end up being a significant change in sound, I do now have a second mic that I can count on, because the Rode Video Go that I bought before is just so bad. And so I know that I can trust the sound out of both of these mics. And so it allows me to leave one here in the studio and then keep one attached to the mic so that I can continue to carry this, keep one attached to the camera so that I can continue to carry this camera around everywhere that I go. All right, so Movo VXR10 Pro. The second thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is this lens that I have been testing out. If you guys saw a couple videos back, I have been testing out this Rokinon 75mm 1.8 for the last couple weeks. And first, let me say this. I am a photographer first, and so I have been testing it out with photos. And I also want to say that I haven't had a chance to use it primarily for a portrait shoot because, as I said, when I had one planned, it's been really hot here in Chicago and humid. And when we went out to shoot, the lens just like fogged up immediately, even both lenses. So it's not a problem with the Rokinon lens, it's just with the humidity, it had gotten so foggy. And I'll show you some pictures of what that turned out to look like, and that I just didn't get a chance to do that. But what I did do is I took the lens out with my little kiddos, and we snapped some pictures with this lens attached to my A7C. And so what I can say about this lens while attached to my A7C is that I was satisfied with the photo quality. They're good, they're rich colors. I can't say anything bad about the photo quality, or I also can't say anything really bad about the focusing speed or anything when attached to the A7C. I'll say this as plainly as I possibly can before I get into the things that I didn't like about this lens. For $350, if you are looking for a portrait lens to pair with your A7C, I think that you should go out and buy this lens. For $350, if you are looking for a lens, a portrait lens to pair with your A7C, run out and buy this lens. Now, with that being said, what I did do is I also wanted to take some pictures paired onto my A7R4, right? A much faster, more megapixel camera that I require a lot more out of as a photographer than this A7C. And that is where I ran into the issues that I have with the lens. The first one, obviously, it is not a native mount. It's not a native made lens, right? Sony didn't make this lens. All of the things that you would imagine happen with it not being a native lens happened. I demand a lot from a lens when I pair it with my A7 IV, and this is not a lens that I would recommend to anybody who's doing professional work, especially when getting shots in focus is really important. I missed some shots that I absolutely wouldn't be okay with if I were using it for a paid photo shoot. And so as if you are a professional and you're looking to buy a portrait lens, I would not recommend this portrait lens. The second thing that I noticed about this lens with both my A7 IV and the A7C is that you do have to reacclimate yourself to shooting with a 75mm lens as opposed to an 85mm lens. For people who shoot with prime lenses primarily, you become used to where you need to stand in order to get the composition that you want, right? So if you're someone who shoots regularly with the 35mm, you know how far you need to stand from your model to get a close-up, like a full, to fill the frame for a close-up portrait, or you know where you need to stand if you're gonna go, you know, kind of mid, or you know where you need to stand if you're doing like a full body. Especially for me, someone who shoots primarily 85mm, I'm so used to composing shots with an 85mm that I found myself having to, you know, move around a little bit more with this 75mm focal length. And so if you're someone who is acclimated to 85, or if you're someone who is acclimated to, let's say, 50, you will notice, even when framing up this video, I found that I had to move the camera further in, or, you know, just reframe the entire shot just because I had things in the frame that I didn't want. And so for all of you guys wondering about how it performs in video, I'm actually shooting with the 75mm 1.8 right now. And so this is how it performs. I can see in the monitor here that it's doing a really good job of staying focused on the face. And then if I put my hand up, The focusing speed is doing a really good job in video. And I should say that I am shooting this video with my A7R4, which does have the updated focusing system. Not as updated as the A7 S3, but it is a pretty updated focusing system. And so I think it's doing a really good job there. And so that's what I would say about this lens. As plainly as I did before, if you are someone who owns an A7C and you are looking for a portrait lens to pair with this camera to do whatever you want to do with it. If you're looking for a portrait lens to pair with the A7C, I think that you should run out and buy this lens. I cannot stress enough how much I think that you should buy this $350 portrait lens to pair with the A7C. That's it. Those are the two things that I wanted to add to the must-haves list of the Sony A7C. Again, I think that this lens is really good to pair with it. I think that this mic is a really good mic to pair with it. And so that is the video for today. Thank you guys for tuning in to the video. This has been a boy named Jamil. I'm Jamil. Leave all of your questions and comments down below and I will answer them as quickly as I possibly can. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.